Hi everyone, let's talk about Solar Storm, which again is on Kickstarter right now. Link to the campaign page in the description. And there's a playthrough if you haven't seen that. I've just stumbled on this first. So, we really enjoyed Solar Storm. We played it first at the UK Games Expo. I think it's a really nice kind of shrunk down cooperative game. You know, it's got a lot of similarities to, a pandemic where you have action points, you have these cards that you are revealing at the end of each turn that are going to, bit by bit start ruining your day, start making you lose basically. And, one card, two cards on their own aren't really going to make a difference, but if you keep ignoring what they're doing, then you are going to lose. So it's really nice how you have this, by shrunk down, I mean, you just have these 9 locations, and one of them you only need at the end of the game. So you have 8 locations that you have to worry about that are getting constantly damaged, more and more so. 1 is getting damaged each turn at the start of the game, then 2, then 3, and it starts to escalate in that way. And so, you're trying to keep afloat, you're trying to repair the damage that gets done, and hopefully get it done to the point where you can divert the energy from the room. That's the whole point of the game, that you are trying to get all the rooms done, then get back in the middle and activate the ship and get out of there before you get, before you fall into the sun. So one of the really nice things is that, it's all really, really simple to learn. That you have, you have a lot of actions written down here, it seems, but really you are mostly, moving and repairing. If you get the opportunity to, you're diverting, and the abilities of the rooms make a nice difference as well. That, the locations of them is random. But, depending on where you've started, where you've ended up based on maybe what needed repairing, the cards that you have in your hand, and, I've got the right cards for this, I can run over to it and divert it straight away. And now I'm here, and this room's repaired. Maybe I can, so this will swap someone's position, so I could jump to someone else on the board, and, certain abilities like that are going to be more and more useful depending on the number of players. It's nice to be able to just join your partner or have them jump over to you in a 2-player game, but if there's 4 of you out there, that's going to be even more useful. That it might just be that you're going to jump player 2 to player 4's location, and it can have nothing to do with you, but you can be really helpful still. And same way that you can with, it just allows you to do things remotely, like exchanging cards without having to be next to each other, or repairing things without you having to be there. There's a lot, it's more than it just being you running around and chasing after these things. You can think about it in a different way of, well, actually, instead, I could save some actions by just running to this room and repairing it once and then doing it from here. Or I could just do this and it doesn't seem that useful, but I can go into the medical bay and repair that. But if I do that, then I can start the next turn with 2 extra tokens. Or maybe I just don't do anything for this, because, being able to, if you don't get a good draw, or, it's, the scavenge dice, it can be a bit annoying that, maybe you're going to roll no resources in this, but I suppose it's balanced out by the fact that sometimes you can get 2 resources in there, but you can always, if you don't get what you want, or you end up with a bad draw or a bad roll or something, you can always save your actions. You can save your remaining actions to be able to take a bigger and better turn in the future. And having some of these tokens in the bank can be really important for, if something gets hit a lot of times and you're completely on the other side of the ship and you've been ignoring that thing, you can really run over there and try and sort it out by having some of those in the bank. But you can protect the rooms as well. There's a lot of nice things just working together to make it feel like a really tight, shrunk down, easy to grasp cooperative game. It's definitely got, it's got randomness in the dice for scavenging, and then when you get the hull breach. But that's a nice thing, that if you've managed to survive all the way through this damage deck and you still haven't won the game, you've still got a chance. And it changes up what you have to be worried about as well. You don't have to be worried about certain rooms getting hit at all anymore, but the countdown of the resource deck is going to start diminishing more and more and more, to the point where, earlier on in the game, you have the option always of, do I end the turn by getting 1 of the face-up resources, or do I take 2 from the deck? That's, these could be wild cards or anything, or something you really, really need. And why wouldn't I want more and more resources? Well, by the end of the game, you don't want to have drawn resources because you want it to go on as long as possible. But anyway, I hope, it's got randomness in the dice, in the scavenging, and in the hull breach, and in what comes out in both the resource cards and the event cards as well. You can end up in, it was a little bit like that in the playthrough, that you can end up in this kind of this loop of just I repair this thing and then nothing gets damaged, and then it comes back to just before my turn and that room gets damaged again. So the perfect plan I had keeps getting messed up over and over and over again. You can, it's kind of up to you. Do you go and does another player go and get some protection tokens so that doesn't get hit? And you probably would if it was the last thing that you were waiting for. But yeah, it's just something you've got to know going in. That I felt like it was a short enough game and definitely a fun enough game that it didn't really bother us at all. But yeah, I could see it being an issue for someone. But hey, hopefully you've seen the playthrough and you've decided whether or not it's the one for you, and you can check out the final thing on the campaign page anyway. That's just what we thought. Solar Storm. Thanks for watching, everyone. There's more playthroughs elsewhere on the screen, probably. Bye.